Hello y'all, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, hi, my name's Teresa, and this week we are going to be doing something a little bit different than my usual weekend vlog. We are going to be doing a full review of the Purple Carrot meal kit service. What I really like about them is you can either get a meal kit where you actually make the whole meal yourself, or you can get ready to eat meals and grocery items too. So they have a lot of different options, which is really nice, but this week we are going to be doing the meals where you actually get the kit and then you make it yourself. They are a plant-based meal service and I do eat meat, so I'm going to be adding some additional meat to my meals, but the base of the meal is going to be all from Purple Carrot. And before we start this video, all these thoughts and opinions are completely my own. I am going to be 100% honest with you guys of what I think of the meals, what I think of the service, the prep, the cook time, all of that. Okay, so let's just jump right in and show you guys everything that I got in my box. I did do a little unboxing the other day, and today is when we're actually going to cook one of the meals. So the first meal that I have is the sticky mango tofu. It comes with a little card in here. I think it has the ingredients and all of the instructions, and then it has all of the items here in the bag. This is the one that I think I want to make tonight. It is the Green Goddess sweet potatoes with crispy chickpeas. That just sounds so good, and I think that I would add some chicken sausage to this. And then the last one we have is miso leek pasta with roasted garlic and Calabrian breadcrumbs. That sounds amazing, and once again, everything is here in the bag ready to go. Okay, then I got some extra grocery items as well. I got these chips. They are sweet potato chips with cheddar and sour cream with avocado oil. Those sound delicious. I cannot wait to dive into those. And then I also got some kombucha. This is Better Booch, and it is the citrus sunrise flavor. So we have so many goodies here. I am really hungry, even though it's only at 4 p.m., but I'm ready for dinner. So we're gonna dive in and start with the Green Goddess and sweet potato with the crispy chickpeas because it just sounds amazing. All right, these are all the ingredients. It is mainly sweet potato based. So we have the sweet potatoes over here. We got some arugula, and then of course the chickpeas. And then for the sauces, we have tahini and pesto, balsamic glaze, and cashew milk yogurt. We have a shallot, a lemon, and tarragon, fresh tarragon. And then it comes with this little pamphlet on the servings, the cook time. I think that the one in parentheses is like what it is. So I think this is 4 servings and it takes 40 minutes to make. And then on the inside, it just lists all the ingredients, what you need from your kitchen, what tools you need, and then it lists out the directions. Seems pretty simple. I can follow a recipe, so let's get started. Okay, and I want to genuinely put this to the test for you, so I am going to start a timer right now. From start to finish, I have not done any prep or anything. I haven't even like washed, even gotten out like the cutting board, anything like that. So it is truly start to finish. So I will show you how long it takes me to make this meal. Let's go. Okay, so on the instructions, it says to cook the potato halves in the oven at 425 for 18 to 20 minutes with the shallot and the chickpeas. I really don't think that these sweet potatoes are gonna be cooked in that amount of time because usually it takes 45 minutes to cook sweet potatoes, and these are really big halves. They're not even cut into chunks. And I know that the chickpeas and shallots definitely take way less time than these huge halves of potatoes. So I'm gonna put these in for about 15 minutes on their own, and then I'm gonna add in the shallots and the chickpeas after, even though I know that's not what the instructions say. I could be wrong. Maybe the sweet potato will be done before then, but I seriously doubt it. And I'm gonna do one of these chicken sausages with this. I think that this flavor would go pretty nicely with the meal. I've actually never used tarragon before, so I don't know if I'm supposed to take off the leaves or if you're supposed to leave it on the whole stem. I genuinely don't know. I guess I'm gonna take off the leaves because leaving on the stem feels weird. It's kind of like cilantro. It does not specify in the instructions. Does anyone else think of that Hannah Montana episode when you think of tarragon, where the dad is like dating this woman and she says like tarragon and storms out of the house? Yeah, that's what I think of. Got my sous chef in the kitchen. Hey, Mims. 20 minutes in the oven. I just stuck a knife in them and they are completely rock solid, so I'm glad that I put them in for extra time. I'm now going to add the chickpeas and shallots and cook for another 25 minutes. All right, y'all, here is my finished meal. It smells and looks amazing. Not gonna lie though, it did not take 40 minutes. It took an hour and 10. Definitely because of the sweet potatoes, so you could cut them down so that they take less time to bake, but otherwise everything was still easy and to the recipe. The sauce was really easy to make, especially because all the ingredients were separate and they were already portioned out, so it was super easy to whip up. I got the arugula, so I have a nice veggie. It looks and smells delicious. And I'm also glad that I added chicken sausage because I do want some extra protein with this. Like, look at those crispy chickpeas and shallots on the sweet potato. That looks amazing. So we got to do a taste test. All right, I am definitely starting with the sweet potato because that is the part that I am most excited for. That is really good. I would never think to put balsamic glaze on a sweet potato, but it's delicious. All right, now let's go in and try this dressing. It looks so good. I love that. I also added a little bit more fresh garlic than I should have to the dressing, and it's really good. I love extra garlic, and I love when it's fresh garlic because it has like a little bit of a bite to it. Okay, I would call this first meal a success, even though it did take about 30 minutes longer than it said it would to make just because of the sweet potatoes. But like I said, you could make those a little bit differently and it would go by faster. But otherwise, the flavors and all the ingredients are delicious. So I am impressed so far. And nothing I love more than making a meal and it takes a little while, but you have leftovers. So I have at least one more serving, maybe two out of this. All right, we are back to make the next recipe. I just got back from a workout. That is why I am in my workout attire and I have not showered yet, but I'm really hungry for lunch. So today we are going to make sticky mango tofu, except I am gonna swap the tofu for chicken because I'm just more of a chicken person than a tofu person. And then I'm just gonna save the tofu for something else. But this sounds delicious. I love mango. It says the cook time for this will be about 45 minutes. So while I cook, I am going to snack on these chips that came in my box. The sweet potato chips with cheddar and sour cream. They sound amazing. Spot on. And they taste like a true sweet potato chip, like very authentic. All right, here are the ingredients for this meal. We've got the tofu that we are gonna swap out for some chicken in the fridge. We have cornstarch, tamari sauce, quinoa, garlic chili sauce, mango chutney, a lime, a mango, a red bell pepper, and a green onion. Here's what the bowls are gonna look like, and I'm gonna start by cooking the chicken and then the quinoa. This mango is definitely not ripe, and I should have left this on the counter instead of in the fridge this whole time, but that's on me. I did have a few days that I could have left it out and it would have gotten more ripe, but oh well, it is too late for that now, so we're still just gonna eat it. And it requires you to put the mango in the pan and it gets like a little bit warm and juicy. So hopefully that helps with the fact that it's not quite ripe yet. You also never know until you actually bite into it. So maybe it won't be that bad, but it is definitely like super, super green. Also, I usually just buy pre-chopped mango at the store now because it is so annoying to cut a mango with like the center. So this is gonna be my first time cutting a mango in a while, so do not judge me. quinoa are done. I'm just finishing up the bell peppers and the mangoes here. And then one thing that I am really liking about these meals is the sauces are really easy to make. They give you these pre-proportioned little containers, usually something a little extra, and all you do is like combine them into a bowl and mix, which is so easy. So that is definitely my favorite part so far. So for this sauce, I am combining the tamari, the chili garlic, the mango chutney, and some lime juice. It says to put this in the pan with the mixture of the bell peppers and the mango, and then the tofu is supposed to be in there, but I put the chicken in the air fryer instead. So I'm just gonna drizzle this on top once it's on my plate. Also, I'm probably gonna end up putting music over a lot of this because I am currently watching Love Island while I make this. I wasn't gonna watch it because first of all, I didn't have Peacock, and second of all, there are just so many episodes. I was thinking there was no way that I could possibly keep up with the show. But some of my coworkers are watching it, and I feel like it is like the new Bachelor. Like everyone is obsessed with Love Island and everyone's talking about it, and I get FOMO. I don't want to be left out, so I've decided I'm gonna watch it, but I'm already 23 episodes behind. So I am like trying to power through and catch up, so that is why I need to watch episodes while I am cooking right now. I also realized I forgot to set a timer for this to show you exactly how long it took me to make, so I'm just gonna generalize based off of how long I've been watching Love Island for. How gorgeous is this meal? I feel like I did a really good job of plating, and it looks and smells delicious. I would never think to put mango in a pan and like heat it up, so I really like that they pushed me out of my comfort zone with that. I was thinking maybe I would end up making a mango salsa because you do mango and red bell pepper and a couple other things for a mango salsa, but it's cool that it's in a pan. Okay, let's officially do a taste test. This is delicious. I would definitely make this again. The thing for me that makes a meal so good is always the sauce though, so I would definitely need to recreate this sauce. It's really good. The other parts are definitely easy. I could do like the mango and the red bell pepper, the green onion, the quinoa, although I'd probably do rice instead. I'm just more of like a rice person, and then the chicken of course. But this is a really good sauce, and like I said, I love how they give you all the little ingredients and all you do is put them together. You don't need to do any additional chopping or anything like that. This meal was definitely a lot easier to make than the last one, the sweet potatoes. I'm so bummed that I didn't set a timer to time how long this took me to make, but I think it was around 45 minutes. And honestly, I think it would have been less if I wasn't making this chicken, because the chicken definitely takes longer to cook than I think the tofu would have. But all I did was put that in the air fryer, so it was really easy. This would definitely be a really easy meal to recreate. And now I can't wait to try the third meal because it's a pasta dish, and I just know that that is gonna be amazing. I mean, you can't go wrong with pasta. All right, y'all, we are on to our final meal from Purple Carrot, and I think I saved the best for last. I'm not sure though, because the last two were also really good, but this one is miso leek pasta. This is definitely something that I would not normally make on my own, but from the picture, I'm thinking that looks amazing. Also, you can never go wrong with a pasta dish, so let's get into it. All right, here is the recipe card. Look at how good that looks. It looks amazing. I can't wait to make this. And then we have all of our ingredients here. So this is a pasta dish, and they do always include something that is like protein based, even though I am gonna add chicken to this meal, but there are beans for this one. And then we have leeks, a vegan cheese, we have breadcrumbs, all these like little ingredients. So we have miso paste, Calabrian peppers, cream cheese, sherry vinegar, and an onion. That is definitely something that I am obsessed with these meals, is that all of these like little random ingredients are just already portioned out, because all these are things that you would have to buy like such a big container of if you wanted to make a meal like this, and that is just so much waste. Like you would have to make so much of this meal. So these little portioned out containers are perfect. And then like I just said, I will be adding chicken to this, so it'll be like a chicken pasta, which will be nice high protein. Okay, step number one is to get the leeks going. It says to slow roast them in the oven, but I'm just gonna use the air fryer because it is so much easier and faster. And the leeks are already chopped down, so I think I'll just pop them in just like this. And then it says to put in whole garlic cloves as well, so I'll shell a couple of these and get this bad boy going. Meanwhile, I am still watching Love Island, so I will be watching that while I cook right now. All right, so this is chef's error, but I did not know that the leeks were going to crispen up and basically burn so easily in the air fryer. And now that I'm reading the directions, it said to put them in a baking sheet that has water in it. So you're basically like softening them. And that is the opposite of what I did. So I threw away the super burnt ones, but I tasted like one of the crispy ones. They still taste pretty good. So I'm just gonna leave them be like crispy bits, but definitely don't do that. Next time you're cooking leeks, I've never cooked a leek before. Otherwise, everything is going well, and don't worry, cooking the chicken didn't add any extra time to doing this since I was cooking the chicken while this was in the air fryer, which would be while it's in the oven for someone who cooked it correctly. Now I'm just reading the directions next, and basically I'm gonna make the sauce. It says to do it like in the saucepan after you make the pasta, but because I have this pan out that I use the chicken in, I'm just gonna put it in there. And then I already have my toasted breadcrumbs, which look delicious. So here on out, it should be pretty easy. All I have to do is cook the pasta and put together the sauce, which like all the other sauces on all these other meals that I've made, you just like put together all the pre-proportioned ingredients and you just mix them together. So it should be pretty easy. I did also remember to set a timer right when I started this time, and we're at 34 minutes right now. All right, this looks and smells so delicious, and this was definitely, I think, the easiest meal to make so far, but pasta dishes are always nice and easy to make. It looks really good though. I've never made anything like this. Okay, let's do a taste test. Wow, I love this sauce. I would never think to make a sauce like this, but it's really good. So I still have the beans in here, even though that was the protein source, and then I did add about 10 ounces of chicken. I did that so I'd have 5 ounces per serving, but it might be like more than 2 servings. There's a lot of food here, and this is a really big bowl. So I think it makes more like 2.5 servings with the added chicken in it, but so good. I'm so glad that I put the leftover leeks still in here, and I kept some of the crispier ones, because once they're mixed with the sauce, it kind of like rehydrates them, and I really like the flavor. Again, I would never think to cook with a leek, but I am really digging it, and I love the sauce. It has like cream cheese, it has some kind of like regular cheese, like a boysen. I don't eat that cheese normally, so I cannot think of the name, but hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. And then it has like the miso paste in there, which is so good. The final time on this was 53 minutes. I probably could have gone a little bit faster because I was very focused on Love Island. I'm on the Casa episodes. If you know, you know. I'm currently behind, but I'm really trying to catch up. So I was very invested, and I probably could have moved a little quicker, but not that much. So it does take about, I would say, like 50 minutes to make, but it was still really good. I'm glad that I started a little bit earlier, just because I'm kind of seeing that a lot of these meals kind of takes like almost an hour to make them. So I started cooking at 4, knowing that I was going to be hungry at 5. All right, well, I'm going to enjoy this delicious meal while it's hot, watch some more Love Island, and I will check in with you guys at the end of this video, kind of just like reviewing all of the meals together and what I thought of purple carrot. All right, before I close out this video, I do want to give my quick thoughts on purple carrot overall. I ended up having 3 full meals and 2 different snacks, and everything was amazing. It was all so good, so flavorful, and stuff that I would all eat again. For the 3 meals, other than the protein source, which we will get to, I loved every single part of the meals. There wasn't anything else that I wanted to take out because I was like, ugh, I don't like that. And honestly, I'm kind of a picky eater sometimes. So for me to not want to leave something out for a meal that someone else like put together and created is pretty atypical. So I was really pleasantly surprised that I loved every single part of the meal. Now onto the protein portion. I do prefer to have meat as my source of protein in my meals, just because it is a little bit leaner and higher in protein versus doing something like beans or tofu. If you are vegetarian or plant-based though, this is a really great meal kit service because they do provide a different protein source, whether it's beans or tofu or something like that. So there was always a protein source with each meal. I just preferred to add to it or replace it, and that is just a personal personal preference. But if you are someone who likes to have meat as your source of protein, I think that this was still a really good service for that, because all of the meals, it was very easy to add in protein additionally, and it didn't like mess with the meal and make it super different. Like the sticky mango bowls, I just did chicken directly in replacement of tofu, and I don't think it changed anything. And then the two other meals had beans as their source of protein, and I just added chicken on top of that. I didn't replace anything. So very adaptable to whatever your dietary needs are. And then there were definitely some ingredients there that are more for like plant-based people. I think there was like a coconut yogurt instead of regular yogurt. That is something that I don't care about. I don't care if it's coconut yogurt or regular. Whatever it is, it tasted amazing to me. And at the end of the day, flavor is definitely the top priority for me when it comes to my meals. Now, the one downside to these meals, I would say, is definitely the cook time. I think on most of them, it said it would take around 30 to 45 minutes per meal, and I would say that each meal ended up taking an hour. You can definitely tell from the footage, that very first one with the sweet potatoes, I already knew immediately that it was not going to take the time listed on the pamphlet, but the others went a little over as well. So I think if you're judging the true cook time, which is how I like to judge a meal, like by the time that I'm getting ingredients out to eating it, how long does it take to make this meal? And the times listed probably just don't include things like that, like actually getting the stuff out to eating it, like only the genuine cook time, but that's just not how I measure things. An hour's okay, but there are definitely a lot of nights where I don't want to spend an hour cooking, especially during the week when I'm just like tired after a work day and I want my food basically ready to go. In my normal day to day, I do try to make meals that take under 30 minutes to make, because that's pretty much all I have patience for. But if you have more patience than me and you plan making the meal before you were actually hungry, that's also key, then these would definitely work for you. In terms of value, I was gifted this box of food, so I did not pay for these myself. I just want to be open and transparent, but I'm still giving you my complete honest opinion about it. I have done other meal kit services before, so it really just depends on what you're looking for in a meal and convenience wise, and that's how you kind of judge how the value is for you. This isn't really like a direct replacement for getting your normal groceries. You would still need to go to a normal grocery store, I think, and then this would be supplemental if you want to have like more fun meals where you're just the kind of person that it's hard to come up with different meals to make, or you want to try something different. This would be perfect for you. It would also be fun for a date night. I think that making meals like this is really fun when you're trying a new recipe with your partner and you want to cook something at home. This is great for that as well. Also, the snacks that they sent me were so good. I love the sweet potato chips and the kombucha, and those are two brands that I definitely would not be able to get in my normal grocery store. So it is fun doing things like this that really step outside of my comfort zone, or at least out of my realm of things that I have access to. I could go to a different grocery store, of course. I go to Walmart for all of my groceries, so that does limit my options sometimes. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for sticking around for this kind of different type of video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next video.